Hi, welcome to my channel. Today's video is all about revision and how to make revision work for you without thinking about it too much, without getting too hung up on what it is. First of all, let me just tell you that your subconscious, it doesn't know the difference between real and fictional, something that you've made up and something that actually happened. It doesn't know the difference, which is why we manifest things seemingly out of nothing, because your subconscious doesn't know any different. If you've got a feeling about something and you kind of feel it as real, then your subconscious thinks it's real. It has no reason to disbelieve it. Well, the subconscious doesn't disbelieve anything. It takes everything you say as absolute fact. Let's just talk about the past for a moment. So circumstances are either something that's going on at the moment in your life, something that's happening at the moment that you can see in 3D, or most often when we're looking at revision, we're talking about a past event, something that's happened in the past that's upset you, you feel that's led you on the path that you're on now, that you're not particularly enamored with, or that's influenced your future from that point, something in whichever way. It can be minor way, it can be a major way. Now, the past doesn't actually exist. The past only exists within you. That's the only place it resides, is within you. So it's a memory, that's all it is. Now let's come up with a scenario. Somebody offers you a pill to absolutely forget that this ever happened. First of all, you decide, do I really want to forget this has happened? Because if I forget this has happened, then would this and this have happened, which I do like about my life. So it can point you, these things that we think are awful and we're really, or maybe we're not happy with, have actually led us to some really great things. But let's just say that you decide, yeah, I want to take this pill. I want to forget that this ever happened. You take the pill and it is immediately taken out of you. So it's not just taken out of your memory, it's taken out of your subconscious. Okay, so this is what this magic pill does. It takes it away completely. So it does not exist within you at all. From that moment on, your future is going to be different than it would have been if you had it in there, because it's gone. So you don't have that feeling anymore. You don't have that pattern going anymore. Whatever that was showing to you, you don't have that anymore in your life. Things are different. Even if somebody came along to you, so let's say everybody else remembered it and somebody told you about it and you wouldn't remember it. So although somebody was telling you it as a fact, because you didn't have the feeling of it and the actual memory of it, you still wouldn't get that same feeling state from somebody relaying it to you. It's completely different than having it within you. But the key thing here is to think about these things, these things that you might want to revise, and think, now this happened and it wasn't positive and I kind of wish it hadn't happened, but where else did it lead me in life? Did it lead me to some good things that it wouldn't have led me to if it hadn't have happened? This has happened in my life where something happened that I would have seen as completely detrimental and negative, but actually it's led me to so many great things that I can't regret it. So have a look at that and think about that, because that is one way of giving yourself a different feeling state around it anyway. That will shift you anyway without you even revising it and changing it. When you revise, all you're really doing is creating a new memory. So you're creating something that doesn't exist because nothing exists, but you're implanting it into your subconscious. You are telling yourself that it did happen. You're instructing your subconscious, this is what happened, whether you do it with visualization, whether you do it with just a feeling, whether you do it with scripting. Scripting is quite a good one to get that written down and just to see that in black and white. But be really sure about what that memory is going to be before you do it, because what you don't want to do is do it and then think, oh, I might just change that bit and change it, or I might just change that, because that's very confusing and that is a very mixed signal. It's not the frequency, it's not on point of what you want. Now, what happens then is your subconscious has a new reference point to work from. So it starts to see that as the reference point. So if you go back to that thing in your past that you don't like, that circumstance that you don't like, always go back to the version that didn't really happen but that you've made up, that is your new memory. If you feel yourself going to the old one, bring yourself back to the new one. Your subconscious is going to take that as fact. At some point that is going to be a solid fact, so then your future and what you want to manifest will be different if you hadn't have done this. So if you just left that, I mean, you can leave things in the past and actually feel like, actually I don't care about that anymore, it's a done deal, and not worry about it at all. That's absolutely fine too. But if you're finding that you can't do that, then this is a great way of dealing with it. Don't feel deluded. No one knows what's going on in your head. It really doesn't matter. It's nothing to do with delusion. All you're doing is trying to help yourself. Trying to help yourself move past a point. And this is just one way of doing it. Like I said, it's not the only way, but it is just one way. And your subconscious is amazing. It will believe everything you tell it. It will do what you tell it to do. It has all the information stored in there. And you give it something new, it stores it. Everything you give it, whether you're watching it on TV, reading it in a book, talking about it with friends, conversations you've had, things you talk to yourself about, every bit of information is collated. It is grabbed by your subconscious, and it doesn't go anywhere. It sits in there, and it will work with that to help you out whenever you need it to. Now, this could be a drastic change. This could be something really massive that you decide to replace it with. But the key thing is to make it feel plausible. It needs to feel plausible to you. It needs to be something really that you would think, yeah, that could have happened. It didn't, but it could have easily happened like this. Just so that it just makes it a lot easier. So then you'll find that your rational mind and your subconscious are then working in harmony, and that's what we want here. And you'll get a lot of coaches that will say you can just change it, make it really dramatic, make it something massively different, as long as you keep stating it to yourself over and over and over. And you can do that, and I could possibly do that now, but I'm so practiced. We're talking about 8 years of practice with this stuff, so you know, it's a whole different thing, isn't it, when you've been doing it for a lot longer. But do you know what, I still think I would go for the more plausible thing, because that kind of works for me. I don't ever want to work against my rational mind to that degree. I would rather work with it. I would rather kind of keep it semi-happy, because it's really much more useful, and I think it makes for a far less resistant experience. So again, you don't have to use revision ever to, you know, if you can let things go and you really can feel that release of it, you can do things like this if you don't want to work with revision. Think of that incident that's upsetting you, that you don't like, bring it to mind, feel it, really feel it, and then just go, I release this, or I release you, if you want to see it like some sort of entity within you, I release it. So you're releasing that emotion. That is another way of dealing with it. Again, let's just reiterate that the past is not an actual thing. It's not tangible. It just lives within you. So it lives within you. You have that energy of it within you. So you see your reality unfolding, bearing that in mind. But if you weren't bothered about that at all, and you could just let it go, then it wouldn't have that bearing on your life. And also, if you replace it with something else, and you successfully replace it with something to a point where it just feels plausible, and you go back to that memory, and you're probably never going to go, oh, well, that actually happened, and actually think that you might do, who knows, I don't know. But really speaking, it is just going to change that reference point for your subconscious to work with. Some people talk about revision and they say it's actually changed their past for other people, so other people don't know that things happened or do know that things happened based on the fact that they've revised something. Whether that's the case or not, who knows. I thoroughly believe this, but it is the case in the reality of these people. But whether that would happen with you or not, I don't know. This is not, I don't talk about it like that, because I want to talk about it in a more practical sense, that something that you can implement in your life with science behind it in this way, that your subconscious does take on instructions. So if you go for hypnotherapy, for example, then your hypnotherapist is talking to you and giving you another version of events. If you want to stop smoking, for example, they're helping you do that. If you want to stop drinking, they're helping you do that. Whatever it is that you want to lose weight, actually, I'm not supposed to say you want to lose weight. You're supposed to say, I want to release the weight. You want to release weight. Then the hypnotherapist is going to help you do that through auto-suggestion. So that is the power of the subconscious mind. So the more we can work with the subconscious mind and use that as our tools to change things within our life, to make things better, we can ask it anything. You can ask your subconscious to point things out to you. If you're stuck and you really feel stuck in life, but you're not sure why you're stuck, just ask your subconscious, why am I stuck? Why am I feeling like this? Please show me why I'm feeling like it. Then please show me the solution. This is what I work with all of the time. It's basically pretty much all that I do is talk to my subconscious mind. You could call that your higher self. Maybe, I'm getting it wrong and I'm calling it the subconscious mind. Maybe I should be saying my higher self, God, source, universe, but that just works for me. So you call it whatever you like. Right, I hope that this was useful. I'm making this because a couple of people have asked, and I thought, and it's on my list, and I do work through my list, so anytime you guys make a suggestion, I do bear it in mind, I do put it on my list, but it might be quite a long way down. Thank you so much for watching. If you don't know anything about me, I'm an author, I am a manifesting coach, and a mindset coach.